Hi everybody, how are you tonight? Happy Friday. I just wanted to come and do well, I don't want to say quick because I don't know how long it's going to take. But I wanted to do another Couture project with you tonight. Hopefully you can get this in the middle of your March Madness bracket stuff. But thank you for joining me, and if you're watching this on the replay, thank you so much. I'd love it if you could like and share my video, and if you haven't already, please like my page. If you're watching on YouTube, I'd love it if you subscribe to my channel and ring the little bell to get notifications when I upload new videos. I don't normally go live on YouTube right now, but maybe someday soon. We'll see. But thank you so much again for being here. Tonight I'm going to be working on a project that I've been itching to do ever since I got this transfer. I think they made this one for me. And it's our Procrastinate transfer. It says, "Don't bother me, I'm procrastinating." And that is my life. It's hard because I always want to craft. I always want to procrastinate on everything else so that I can craft, but then I kind of feel like an adult, so I procrastinate with my crafts because I have other things I need to do. So it's a struggle, but here we are. So I get to do some crafts with you guys. I have our Grayson 9x11 board. These boards are really great because they're lightweight and they are washable, and our transfers are reusable. So if you did this one and then you wanted to reuse the board and put another design on it, you could just wash it off, wash your paste off, and use it over again. So they're very budget friendly and they're very versatile. You can see behind me, well, maybe you can, I kind of zoomed in, but a lot of the boards that I've been using for my Couture projects are the Grayson boards. So the Create Your Own, I went the wrong way, the Create Your Own Sunshine there, and then this Fresh First Breath one, the Happy Halloween one back there that I did back in October is done on one of the larger Grayson boards. So they're really great boards. That's what we're going to be using tonight, and we're going to be using our Chalkology pastes, and I have some different colors here that I wanted to use for our color palette. So these are going to be our main colors tonight. We have Couture Teal and our new I always forget the name of these. I know them in Vogue. Our in Vogue color, one of our in Vogue colors, Guava, which is really pretty color. It's very similar to coral, but it's got a little bit more orange in it. And then one of my favorite, very favorite new colors is our Shimmer Silver. We have 3 shimmer pastes now, and previously only our inks came in shimmer. So now our pastes do, and there's copper, silver, and gold. And even though I'm not a gold person, I really like the gold and I like the copper, but the silver is probably my favorite. So anyway, there's going to be a lot of different colors, which means it's probably going to take a little bit longer. I could, you could do this in all one color. You could choose 2 colors, but I'm a very colorful person and I like a lot of pops of color. So I'm going to use multiples. So if you're not familiar with Couture, you haven't seen me do any Couture projects, these are reusable adhesive silkscreen transfers, and if you take care of your transfers, you can get, I would say, an average of about 10 uses out of them. So you can make multiple projects with one transfer, so you're definitely going to get your money's worth if you take care of them properly. And since they are reusable, we want to label the back of our sheet here, and I'm going to put Procraftinating. And what that does is if I'm using multiple, which this is the size, I'm not cutting any part of this, so I pretty much know that this one belongs to this. But if you have a lot of smaller transfers and you peel them all off and you have them, washed, you might not know which backer goes on which transfer. So if you label each one of them, it will tell you not only which side is the back of the backer, and then in turn, which is the correct side to put your transfer back on. But it'll also tell you which transfer goes on which backer. I feel like I said backer a lot of times.
Backer.
Just then. Backer,
Please
backer,
back
backer.
us.
Okay, so this is my transfer. I've already labeled the back, so I'm ready to go there. I'm going to move these pastes out of my way. The very first thing that we want to do is fuzz our transfer. This is one of our new fuzzing cloths. I believe it retails for $7.99 on my online store. If you're interested in any of these products, making your own projects, they're really great to have. You could use a regular towel if you wanted to. I did before they came out with these, but this one's really nice because it's got a little bit more surface area. And I'm just pulling the backer away from the transfer, and you can see how it sticks to my fingers. It's very sticky. So we want to fuzz this, and that's so that it makes it a little bit less sticky, and it's not going to stick quite as hard to our board. So anytime you're putting your transfer on a hard surface, you want to fuzz your transfer. Last night I did a project on a onesie, so I was putting it on fabric, and I did not fuzz. And the reason for that is, especially with the inks, which is what I used, you want to have a tight seal so that the ink doesn't seep underneath of your design and go where you don't want it to. But in this case, we're just going to take some of this fuzz off of the fuzzing towel, make that transfer a little bit less fuzzy, so that when we put it on our board, it's going to come off a lot easier. And these transfers are fabric, so they can stretch, and we just want to be really careful that, this one's really sticky, that we pull them side to side or up and down and not diagonally, because if you pull them diagonally, they're going to stretch. I usually do this about 3 to 4 times, depending on how new they are and the surface I'm using. Our Couture boards are really pretty great for this, especially the Grayson boards. Now, if you're using a palette board or one of the box frames, which is this, then these do have to be waxed as well. But I tell you so much about projects I'm not working on. I just feel like I need to tell you everything. It's so awesome. So if you're a crafter, I definitely recommend this transfer because it is so cool. And this one's going to live in my craft room also. And a very important thing as well on your boards, if they already have the hangers on them, you want to make sure that you have the correct side up when you put your transfer on so that you're not hanging your project upside down. And on these, the backs don't come off, so you can't easily just, take the back off and turn it around. You probably could with enough trying, but you'd have to nail it back in there. It's not fun. So I just want to get this fairly even. It doesn't have to be perfect. And I'm just going to put it on here. And it's really important to get all the bubbles out of the silkscreen area. So you want to try to lay it as flat as possible and work those bubbles out. If the bubbles are only in the teal area, that's okay. But we want everything out of the part where the paste is going to be going through. See, I have a little bubble there, but it's on the edge and the teal. I'm not worried about it. And you could use a little squeegee to do this also. I just prefer my fingers because I can feel what's going on there. Okay. Now this is going to be one where, since I'm using multiple colors, I am going to have to stop and dry, and I'm going to do the peel and paste method. Okay. I haven't really done this method very much, so you guys will have to bear with me. I'll do the best I can. You always want to stir your chalk paste once you open it. Yeah, I don't think I've used that much of this color, but it seems like there's not a whole lot in here. It's a lot. Chalk paste, a little bit goes a long way, so it lasts you a while, but I just feel like I haven't used that much of it. Okay. Now I need my squeegee, and I want to make the scissor handle this color, and then I think I also want to make the paintbrush this color. So since they're at opposite ends of the board, I'm just going to come at them from different directions. I'm going to focus on one thing at a time. So I got some of my paste down for my scissors. I'm just going to pull that down. Need just a little bit more right there. And pull your excess off. Put it back in your jar so you can use it for next time. And then I'm just going to peel this part up because the paste can dry in the transfer and we don't want that to happen, so it would dry before I would get to the next part. And then I'm going to hit it with the hairdryer because I can't lay this back down on there until it's dry. You want to make sure you're pointed away from your transfer, especially if you're using a heat gun to do this portion. I just have this on cool and low. Doesn't take very long to dry. Okay. There we go. That one's dry. I'm just going to lay this down really lightly right here for a moment. Actually, I'm just going to adhere it back on there. I don't need to stick the top portion of the scissors back on very tightly, but I do need to get this part back down because I still need to chalk that part and this little pin. Okay, so you can see this is all bubbled up. Not a big deal. We already have that dried underneath of there, and it's just going to sit there and chill for a minute. Now, since I have this color out and ready, I think I'm going to come down here at the bottom and do this little paintbrush. Hi Mom, hi Grant, thank you guys for watching. Hope you guys are having fun hanging out. Just doing a little late night crafting tonight. What have you guys been up to? Hi Jenny. All right. Just doing the paintbrush, taking that back off. Put it back in your jar. And then I'm going to do the same thing for the paintbrush that I did for the scissors. I'm going to pull that up. There's a little space there, but if you look at the transfer, it's actually made to be that way. And if it, if it hadn't been, I could decide if I liked it or not. If I didn't, I could put the transfer back down and re-chalk it, but it's made to be that way. Again, trying not to hit your transfer. You don't want to melt it. And I do have this on cool. If you had a heat gun, you'd have to be really careful about that. Okay. And Nesto's here too. Say hi, Nesto.
Hi, Nesto.
He's silly. He's helping with the switcher as always. I could do the switcher myself, but it's so much easier when he's here to do it for me, so I appreciate that. What's everybody saying? Hi, we all are watching you. Thanks for watching me. It's like I'm there. Gave minis to paint. Oh, hi Sarah, thanks for watching. Grant has minis to paint, so he's kind of crafting with me. That's awesome.
And by the way, there is a Facebook app on TVs. So if you want to watch this broadcast or the recording on the TV, you can download the Facebook app on your TV and watch it.
There you go.
And be sure to subscribe to our YouTube channel where you can watch the high definition version of this video.
Grant said hi, Grant. when you said hi, Nesto. And Mom says hi, Nesto. I know you can see the comments too, but
I can read.
You can read?
I'll
let you read then. You do the reading, I'll do the crafting. How's that? I don't know if you guys can see this color. I'm so bad at this. I need to get better. But it's the Shimmer Silver, and it's so pretty. I knew it was the only color that I could possibly do these scissors in. And the safety pins. So since there's 2 safety pins at the top and the scissors, I'm going to do those all at once. I wonder, I guess I'm just going to do all the silver at once because the only other thing is this. No, I better pull up the top first. I don't want it to dry. Sarah says, hi, Nicole and Nesto. Is there any chance of smudging if you put it back down to get a missed spot? There is, Sarah. If you don't get it in exactly the same spot, you could possibly smudge it if you put it down and it's still wet. But if you re-chalk over that whole part, you're basically reactivating that paste and pushing it through. But again, if it's not in exactly the same spot, you're going to have a little bit of a shadow there. So you have to determine if it is worth it or not. Usually, so far, when I've done this, I haven't had a spot that I felt was in need of me actually putting it back down. A lot of these just make it look, a little weathered or...
Plus, you can touch it up after.
You can. So if it's a smaller
tool,
if it's a little spot, you can touch it up with a smaller tool. The precision Q-tips with the pointed end or a paintbrush, if it's just a little spot, not worth smudging. Do you mind reading comments? That way I don't have to.
Well, I would, but then Grant just said that I can't read, so.
Oh, well, I guess you can.
At least he doesn't believe that I can read, even though I'm reading his comment about.
Well, why don't you show him that you can read and read his comment?
Okay. So Grant says the angle of the camera is perfect to show off the paint. And Bev says, Dad's here too. Nesto, Dad says hi too. Hi, Dad.
Hi, Dad. Thanks for watching. I don't know if, just everybody sitting around watching me is the most fun thing, but that's what we're here for, right?
I think it's fun.
You think it's fun?
Yeah. Well, now, everyone that's watching, be sure to share the video with your friends so that we can have more people in this party.
Yeah. This is a party. It's a fun party.
Party.
It's much more fun to go live when there's people that I can talk to instead of just myself. Poor Nesto listens to me talk to myself all the time.
Mm-hmm. I can't tell if she's talking to me or to herself, so sometimes I don't hear. And then she's like, I just told you that. It's like, oh, I thought you were talking to yourself. True story.
A lot. Happens a lot, you guys. True story. Okay, I got the top ones in the silver. So we're going to pull this back up.
Silver
and again, I could have done this entire transfer in one color and it would have been really fast. But I just think this is so cool. And I like doing it in different colors. It's a little more time consuming, but I think it's going to pay off.
Grant says it's like family time with more conversation.
That's true, right?
Yeah. This is the only time you'll be able to actually all be staring at your phones and still talk to each other.
I highly recommend it.
See, we're bringing families together with our live broadcast.
Yeah.
Bet you didn't know that going in, huh?
I love that Shimmer Silver. Don't those scissors look so good?
I love that. I think it looks great. I don't know what it is, but that particular chalk actually looks like chalk and not so much of a paint.
Oh, yeah. Probably because it's a little matte.
Mm-hmm.
It's the color and it's a little matte. Make sure that's dry. It's shiny because of the silver. And just want to make sure it's dry. Okay, and since I have this silver and I just have one little other bit, I think I'm going to go ahead and do this other safety pin. Doesn't take very much chalk paste at all, which is good because this stuff's so pretty. I want it to last as long as it can. I think my next experiment is going to be mixing it with another color and seeing if it's still like shimmery and metallic. The cool thing about this transfer is if I don't get some of the pieces back in the right spot, it doesn't matter because everything's kind of scattered around. As long as I have, you know, the words all even when I go to those. Thanks, Sarah. I'm glad to hear this is your kind of party. I'm really glad you're watching. I miss talking to you. This is definitely my kind of party. I'd rather be home crafting than any other kind of party, just about. Either that or just hanging out with my fam. I get to do both tonight, so.
Sarah asks, do you make your own stencils or are they pre-made to purchase?
That is a great question, Sarah. Thank you for asking that.
Everything looks pretty and precise.
Oh, thank you. I do not make my own. These are actually reusable silkscreen transfers, and they come from Chalk Couture, and I'm actually a designer for them. I started selling with them, it was late summer, early fall, I think, and I did a few lives, and then I kind of fell off with that and decided to start back up again. But could you put my link up, please? My link to my online store is going to be at the bottom of your screen. So if you're interested, definitely go online and check it out because, I mean, can you go to me? Mm-hmm. All of these projects behind me have been made with transfers from Chalk Couture, and there's all kinds of different colors of ink. There's different surfaces. There's different kinds of paste, and there's also different colors of inks. And the inks they can be permanent if they're heat set on ceramics and on fabrics. And then the pastes go on wet and they dry hard, just like you're seeing now. And if I wanted to use this board for something else, I could wash it off with water and put a different transfer on here and make a new sign, so you could change it out with the seasons. I've had so much fun with this stuff. And if you have any further questions about it that you don't want to ask on screen, or you have any more questions, I'd be happy to tell you about it. I actually wasn't sure if I was going to really sell and go after turning this into a business or not. But when I first saw the product, I actually found it through Switcher Studio, which Nesto works for them and is one of the co-founders of, and that's the way that we're switching camera angles and putting up all of the graphics on the screen. I found some YouTubers that were using Chalk Couture, and I fell in love with it as soon as I saw it. They have a really great rewards program for their designers, and I just decided that being a designer was going to be able to fuel my hobby more than anything. You know, even if you're just a hobbyist, if you use the product quite a bit, it really pays to even just become a designer. But you don't have to be a designer. I'd be happy to be your designer if you're interested in the product. You guys might have just seen me put a little bit of water in here. If your paste gets too dry, you just put a little water in it, and you want it to be the consistency of yogurt. And I want to do this string in this guava color, which is an in vogue color, which means every catalog there's about 5 in vogue colors, and those are while supplies last. So when that color is sold out, it's gone and retired, and it makes me sad. But then they bring new colors that are beautiful. So right now we have some really springy colors, and then there's also a Liberty color, which is a really pretty blue it'll be pretty for 4th of July. This is the part that was making me nervous when I was looking at this transfer. Like, how am I going to do that? Okay. So again, the paste can dry in the transfer, so you want to try to work as quickly as possible. And that's why I've been pulling it up a little bit at a time. Doesn't take very much. You can put it right back in your jar, save it for later.
So Sarah asks, can you wash it off? After you heat set it, can you wash it off?
If the paste, after I dry it with the blow dryer, yes. If it's on a chalkboard.
Mm-hmm.
If it's on wood,
yeah, she asked if it's on ceramics or fabrics.
On ceramics or fabrics, after it's heat set, no. So, like we did this little onesie. You can't see that. Can you go to that camera? The little onesie behind me I did on a live last night, and it is the ink, and I heat set it with an Cricut Easy Press. You could also use an iron, but after it's heat set, it's on there. You can wash the garment, but it's gonna stay. Same
Grant
with,
asks, what kind of consistency is it supposed to be? Plain yogurt, flavored, Greek?
Nesto asked that same question the other night.
You gotta be, precise.
Gotta be more specific.
Yeah.
Not Greek. That's a little bit too thick. And I think that light yogurt is a little bit too thin. So you're looking at just a regular yogurt. I think that's pretty perfect. Okay, so I could have gotten a little bit closer at the top and the bottom of this spool, but I'm not mad about the way it looks because I was really nervous about my paste drying, and it's hard to get in there really super close with the squeegee, so.
Sarah says she loves it.
Thank you. I think it's looking really good. I'm excited. I was being so indecisive about what colors I wanted to use. I knew I wanted to use the teal and the guava, but I was trying to figure out what I wanted to go where, and that's the hardest part for me. But if you put it on there and you don't like it, you can wash it right back off and do it a different color. It's not a huge deal. That's the awesome part about this.
I love eating guava paste. But not that kind.
Not that kind of guava paste.
Especially with cheese. Guava paste with cheese.
You know, I kind of wanted to make these lines guava, but I don't know if I'm feeling that right now. We'll see when I get there. I might stick some guava back in there, but okay. I'm probably making this more complicated for myself than it needs to be, but I want it to look pretty.
Purdy.
And Nesta will tell you I'm picky, so.
Her name's Picky Nicky Sue. Did you know?
That's my prerogative, right? Everybody start singing. Okay, so I just put a little water in here. This is our fawn color, and it's kind of a beige almost. It's a really light brown.
Grant says, it didn't come out all the way on the bottom. Can you brush touch up?
You can brush touch up. Which bottom are you talking about?
Might be the bottom of the string.
The bottom of the spool?
Maybe the spool.
I'm actually looking to do that a different color. That might be why.
Grant, be more constructive with your feedback.
Yes.
Come on.
Be more specific. Or Pacific.
Pacific?
Be more Pacific. Okay, so I decided I didn't want the spool to be the same color as the string. That's right, Sarah. I just take pride in my work. Very bit of a perfectionist, I'd say. Now this, I don't know if you can see, on the transfer, this guava that I'm really close to is still a little bit wet. So if I end up getting that on my multi-tool, this is our multi-tool, which works really great because it's so thin, so it's easy to get into these little spots. If I end up getting that on there, I'm not going to dip it back in my fawn because I don't want to contaminate that color. Doing pretty good so far.
Grant says the left end of the orange yarn.
The left end of the orange yarn. Okay, I'll have to wait and see when I pull it back up. I think I know where you're talking about. Boy, you guys must be zoomed in on this.
Well, I did zoom in a lot.
Did you?
Just now.
Thanks.
We can see every chalk particle now. Every single one.
Okay. I will take that into advisement. All right.
Tammy Larson says, hello, is the transfer still available?
Hi, Tammy. This transfer is available. It is actually brand new in our spring and summer catalogs. So it is on my online store and available for purchase. And I highly recommend it. It is one of my favorites. All right, let's get this one up.
Jenna McAfee says, Nikki, is this the same fawn color as the bunnies at work?
Hey,
I love
Jenna, you are correct. This is the same color, and I was actually going to mention that as the bunnies that are on the door at work. It is one of my favorite colors. It's very versatile, and it's a great color for bunnies. Okay, so I think I see where Grant was talking about. Are you talking about right here? It did get a little bit, looks like a little bit of it may have dried in the transfer. You could touch that up with a brush. I wouldn't recommend at this point going back in with the transfer and trying to redo it because you're going to activate all the paste around it. I don't hate the way it looks. You can see here just the way the transfer is made. It kind of makes it look a little vintage or weathered. So it kind of fits the design. And I don't mind the way it looks, but you can go in and touch it up if you'd like to. You know, if it's your design and that's what you want to do, I say go for it. And I wanted to do the tip of the brush the same color. I probably could have done that at the same time, but I forgot. That happens a lot. Especially the older you get, trust me.
Grant has been painting little tiny monsters, and he says he's focused on the details.
Oh, that's good though. That's very good. So there's our paintbrush. Details are important.
Yeah.
Okay, I wanted to mention two things that I just noticed. One, there's a little goober right there. I don't know if you can see it on the back of my transfer. Probably just a little piece of lint or something. Since it's not in the area that I'm chalking, you know, the clear part, the transfer part, I'm not worried about it. When I clean my transfer, that'll come off. It's just a little piece of lint or dried paste. The other one is there's a little splotch right there of the teal that kind of got on my board. But again, since this stuff comes off with water, all I have to do when I'm done is just take a little Q-tip, a little water, or a little hand wipe, and I can fix it right up. Okay, I think I'm going to do the buttons next. Okay, I have a messy workstation here, and I'm having an issue with that. So give me just a second. I also got rid of my, could you get me one of those cups, please? Over there, and it can be one of the dirty ones that has water in it. Now, if I were doing this myself, I'd probably slow down and wash some of this stuff as I went. But for the sake of time, to not make you guys sit here while I do that, I'm just going to put them in that cup. Okay, so I'm done with the silver. Got it out of my way. And I'm done with this. Do you guys have any questions or any comments about, you know, what are you doing tonight?
Grant asks, since the transfer is reusable, do you just wash it with water when finished?
Yep. The very best way to wash it is to run it under cold water or cool water in the sink and just, you know, get all that paste off. And then you would put it sticky side up to dry. Down in the basement, we don't have access to running water. And actually, my preferred method, and it may not be the best one, is I use this glass board and I will spray it with water. And we have these board erasers that work super well in cleaning our boards off. So, you know, I just rub that on the front of the transfer and then on the back. And I usually wipe the back of the transfer as well with a Lysol wipe. You want to use a disinfectant wipe and not a hand wipe or a baby wipe. The baby wipe takes the oils. The oils will take off the sticky on your transfer. So that's all you need to do. You just wipe it off and then you leave it sticky side up to dry. And once it's dry, you just put it back on the backer sheet. And if you take really good care of them, you can get an average of 10 uses out of your transfer. Some people get more than that, but I've never heard anybody say they've gotten much less than that. So this is one of our new colors as well. And I know I've stirred this before, is it? Yeah. I know I've stirred this before, but I'm still hearing some crackling, which is air bubbles. And you want to make sure you mix all those out before you use your paste. And these are our little stir sticks. Those are new in our new catalog, as well as our mini squeegees, which I'm really loving the minis. Before, this was the small, and that was the smallest that they had. So these minis are awesome. Okay, kind of going back to my childhood here, guys. The purple, pink, and teal, those were my favorite colors when I was a kid. They kind of still are.
Jenna says, OMG, I love the pink.
Isn't that pretty, Jenna? I love it too. And the camera, I don't even feel like the camera does some of these colors justice, but it's a really pretty color. And I just went against what I was planning on doing. See what I did? I did one over here, and then I came all the way over here and did another one. I need to kind of stay in the same spot so I can pull them up. Now I'm going to have to do this.
Sarah asks, how many colors are available?
That's a very good question. I think somebody counted, and there's almost 40 right now. They do come out with them, and then they'll retire some and bring some more out, but there's quite a few. I would say close to 40. Hey Nesta.
Yeah.
Would you mind getting my catalog from over there? So I don't really recommend what I just did. Since I did those two buttons, one on each side, I kind of had to do this diagonal thing, but if you're doing this and you're doing different colors, try to stick to one area. Works a lot better. Okay, and I'm going to make this button right here teal. That purple, not super bright on the blackboard, but we'll see if we like it. If we don't, I can take it off. It's not a big deal.
Sarah asks, how long is the shelf life?
They say that the shelf life is 6 months, but I'm coming up on a year. And as long as, they do dry out, but as long as you put water in them, and you want to use distilled water. If you use tap water, they can mold. But I'm coming up on a year on some of mine, and I know my sponsor has had some for longer than that. And as long as they look okay, you can just keep adding water to them and using them. Okay, now one thing I did do, I kind of created a boo-boo, is that when you put this back down, if you put it down in an area that you've already chalked and dried, you want to be careful not to push too hard. And Sarah, this kind of goes back to what you asked about smudging. This one, actually, the transfer grabbed a hold of some of that paste and pulled it back up. So, again, that's a touch-up you could do, or I could just put this down right here, right now, and put some more on there. And I'm thinking about using that color here, so I may just do that. And I can show you. So I'm just going to re-chalk this little area right here. That's going to reactivate the paste underneath of it. Okay. Excess back in my jar. Pull it back up. Well, I thought it would. It might be dried in that transfer. That might be one I have to touch up with a paintbrush. We'll see if I can get it. If you can't get it, and you can use your paintbrush, not a big deal. So it came out a little bit better. I like it. I'll keep it like that. I need to do something different with my hairdryer. I'm left-handed and this is not working for me. So a lot of our transfers are worked in layers. So this is another thing that you want to be really careful of. When you put one over top of another layer, you want to make sure it's dry. Sometimes waxing between layers is good, but mainly, you know, just be careful what you're doing. You want to lay it down lightly. If it's a top layer, you want to use a thicker layer, and you don't want to, you know, push too hard when you take that paste off. And you also don't want to push too hard when you're pressing the transfer down. Just hard enough. I think I'm going to do another teal button up here. I guess I could have let you guys vote on some of these too. What color should I make the last button? There's one right here that I need to do still.
Here's your chance. Design by committee.
That's right. What do you guys think?
Grant says Nesta will laugh if her is about 10 seconds ahead of Mom. Mom is about 10 seconds ahead of me. In the same room on Wi-Fi. Welcome to live streaming.
In a rural area.
Yeah.
You guys are driving each other mad. I guess sometimes it's necessary if you want to comment, but separately, but
Jenna says pink. Grant says blue.
well, here's the thing. I love the pink, but the pink, this one's right next to the other pink one. And then there's a teal one up here that I just did. And I don't think I want to do purple. I'm thinking either white or I have this green. I could also pull out one of these colors behind me. Sorry, I hit my mic. Hopefully it wasn't too loud. Maybe I should give you guys specific choices. How about we can do either the guava, the green, or white. What do we think?
Guava. Pink or white?
Guava pink or no, guava green or white.
Oh, guava green or white.
Yeah. Which I think I should have done this button over here in that pink, Jenna. I missed my opportunity there. Now all these letters are going to be in white also, so keep that in mind. And while you guys are deciding, nope, I'm going to do that last one. I'm doing the letters.
Jenny says peach.
Okay. Guava it is. You don't think that's too close to this?
Aaron Wright says green.
Hi, Aaron. Thanks for watching. I do like the little pop of green. That is my favorite color.
Little pop.
I think I'm going to go with that. Sorry, Jenny. I do love that peach guava color, though. This is a good opportunity, though, for me to show you guys an older paste color. So, Sarah, here's an answer to your question. First, I need to wipe off my multi-tool. This color is called Emerald, and it's actually a retired color, and it retired before I even started being a designer with Couture. So, it is over a year old. Or right at a year old, probably. And I haven't even used it yet. So even though they say a 6-month shelf life, there's nothing growing on top of here. There's no issue with it at all, other than the fact that it's a little bit dried out. So you can see it's not that consistency of yogurt like the other pastes. But it's not as hard as some of the ones that I've seen that are this old either. So we're doing pretty good there. I'm just going to put a little bit of water in here. And you want to be conservative because you can always add more if you need to. This one actually looks really good. And you're just going to scrape. And I'm going to put this next to my microphone so you can hear what it sounds like. It's got a lot of air bubbles in there, and you just want to keep stirring until they're all gone and make it smooth. If I would have stirred some, I may not have even had to add that water, but it's not too thin, but I'm glad I didn't add any more than that. When I first got my white, I added a lot of water to it. A lot. And it still dries out. That was, they've changed their formula since then. I have a new white now, but okay, all that just so we could do this green button. But that's okay. It was a good learning experience, right?
Mm-hmm. We want to thank everyone for watching. We've had quite a crowd.
Yeah, for sure. This is great.
While you're here, make sure that you follow Nikki on Craft Me Knots. So that's facebook.com/craftmeknots. You can also search for Craft Me Knots on YouTube and subscribe, and you can watch these videos in high definition. And also be sure to check out Nikki's Chalk Couture website, chalkcouture.com/Nikki Sue. And you can look at all these products.
You can see all the different transfers, and that was something else I wanted to do.
Also, be sure to share this video so that more of your friends can join in and take part in the chat. We love it when people ask us questions.
It's so much more fun when there's people in here asking questions, and we can really, laugh together, and it's a lot more fun. So I really appreciate you guys being here. Oh, I love that green. Thanks, Erin. That's awesome. That's perfect. It's my favorite color green right there. This product never ceases to amaze me. It just really doesn't. I get so excited every time I do a peel and reveal. And with this one, it's a little more angsty just because I'm only doing little bits at a time. If you're doing one transfer, you do the whole thing, and then you peel it up and you just get to see it all. But we'll get to see it all in a minute, and I know it's going to look awesome. So I need to make sure from all my picking up and putting back down that my bubbles are out and my words are straight. And you can see the only part that I'm really adhering to this board is where my letters are. I don't want to do this to any of the areas where I've already put my paste down, because I don't want it to stick and pick up any of that paste. I do have a little bubble here. I'll try to get it off without. And another thing you can do as well, like here where I've already done all of this, I could just put this jar of paste right here, and I wouldn't even have to really put this down all the way. So I could protect that layer down there if I wanted to. Except I need my comma. There we go. Okay, and I also need my ing. So on this one it might not be the best idea, but on some you can do that.
Grant wants me to pitch all your social media as if I were Billy Mays.
Oh, okay. Let's try that.
Billy Mays here with an exciting new product. Have you ever wanted to chalk but didn't actually have any chalk? Well, now you can chalk and be messy at the same time. Bet you didn't know you could do that. You can find out more by following Nikki at Craft Me Knots on Facebook. You can check out her website at chalkcouture.com/Nikki Sue. And be sure to follow us or subscribe on YouTube.
You guys are goofy. Thank you. That was awesome.
Yeah, there you go.
So I have a little bit of guava on the top. Apparently I put the guava lid on the white the last time. So you want to try not to do that, because if that gets in my white, in another color it's not really going to make a difference.
Mm-hmm.
But in my white, and that gets stirred up, it's going to change the color a little bit. Okay, and I've made an executive decision. I think I'm just going to do the lines in white. I was going to do them in the guava. No, maybe I'll keep them in the guava. We'll see. If I accidentally paste over them when I'm chalking, then they might be white. Let's see if I have any mini squeegees left. I do. See, for this area, this small squeegee might be better, but I don't want to go over... It's a bigger area, but I don't want to go over anything that I already chalked, so I'm not going to do that. A little bit goes a long way, remember.
Now Jenna wants me to do it in a British accent.
Okay, try that.
I don't know if I can do that. You should try it.
I can't do a British accent.
You can do a British accent.
No, since when? Jenna does one.
Oh, yeah?
She goes, "Hello, governor."
Hello, governor. Would you like to chalk with us? Would you like a spot of tea with that chalk?
See, you can do one.
That's a jolly good chalking.
We just got done watching Mary Poppins too, so that's pretty awesome. We watched it again. We watched it in the theater, and then we got our Blu-ray this week because it just came out. So we watched it. And guess what? I've already chalked over those lines, so they're going to be white. It's going to be so much easier. That extra paste goes right back in the jar, so we can use it for next time. Am I covering up any part of this? Can you all see okay?
It looks okay.
Okay.
Jana says, chip, chip, cheerio.
Chip, chip, cheerio. Okay. So I'm just going to take that back off, come down. And actually, I probably wanted to keep it a little bit thicker until I was done down here. Because the thicker it is, the longer it takes to dry. So if I spread this out a little bit, I can come back up here. And another thing you can do is put wet paper towels. Like if you're working on a bigger transfer, I could put wet paper towel right there to keep that portion a little bit more wet while I'm getting the chalk off of this part down here.
Tammy says, your camera and the close-ups are awesome to see how it's done. Thank you.
Hi, Tammy. Thank you so much. It's all thanks to Switcher Studio. It's a really great program that helps make my lives look really awesome. So I'm thankful for that. And I thank you for appreciating that. I know when I'm watching videos that are made with Switcher, it makes a big difference. And we watch a lot of YouTube and Facebook videos in our house. So, all right, guys, are you ready? Bum, bum, bum. Hopefully I didn't stick it to anything else and mess it up. But here's our peel and reveal. I think we got everything chalked. Yep, the top of my me is a little bit...
That's not too bad.
I think it's okay.
Yeah, it's okay.
Don't bother me. Okay. And you can see I'm also pulling straight down. I don't want to pull this transfer to diagonal because it's going to stretch it. It is a fabric. You don't want to stretch it because you want to be able to reuse it. You want it to sit straight the next time you use it. Oh, does that look awesome or what, you guys?
That is awesome.
Didn't we do a great job? You guys are awesome.
Now Grant wants you to pitch Switcher as if you were Billy Mays.
I don't know about all that.
You can do it. You just have to start with Billy Mays here.
Billy Mays here.
With an exciting new product.
Exciting new product. You can change your camera angles. You can put up lower thirds. You can do all these awesome things that you didn't even know you could do. And you can do them all with a touch of a button. So I love this. My only complaint is this E. I wish I would have went back up there and redid it. But the T and the E are a little bit the same. I think it's because the top of the letters are so thin, and I was trying not to get into the guava that was up there. But how cool does this look, you guys?
That is awesome.
Isn't that so exciting? Like, it's really awesome. We have a nice mix of colors on there. It looks really pretty in one color also. I've seen it done in just teal. I've seen it done in just white. There's a Grayson that has a black frame. So it would be the black chalkboard with the black frame. You could do it all in white. That would be really pretty also. So I'm really glad that you guys joined me tonight. This one was a lot of fun just because I had so much great company. Does anybody have any questions? Or thank you, Jenna. Isn't it awesome? Aaron says he loved using Switcher Studio for high school graduation. Very easy and easy to set up and use. Yeah, Switcher is really amazing. I really like it. Thanks, Jenny. I love it. It's going to go in my craft room. But if anybody's interested in one, I can hook you up. You just have to get me a message and I can make you one. I'd be happy to sell you one. Or if you are really interested in the product, definitely check out my store. Oh, Sarah, if you're still here or if anybody else is interested, here's the catalog. I'm going to blow dry this real quick. This dries really fast. If you wanted to, you could just let it air dry, but it's basically already dry. I didn't want to mess it up with the catalog. Also, if you're at home chalking, close your chalk paste because they will dry out and you'll have to add more water. When I'm doing a live, it's easier to do it when I'm done. That way I'm not spending a bunch of time closing up pastes. So this page right here, can you zoom out just a touch?
Y'all.
This page right here is all of our chalk paste colors currently, except for these 5 right here, which are our current in vogue colors. So there's 5 in vogue colors right now. The raspberry sorbet is the pink that I used for the buttons. The guava was the color that we used for the don't and the thread. So these 2 right here are in vogue colors. And then poppy is kind of it's red, but it's a really different red. I don't know. Yeah, it's almost got a little bit of orange in it. And then parakeet's really pretty too. I wasn't sure I liked it because I had so many greens that were really close, but it's a great color. And Liberty is amazing. It's a really pretty blue color.
Grant says he has lots of questions, but none of them are about crafting.
Well, you can ask him if you want, Grant. We might be able to answer them. So this is Liberty. Look how pretty that is. So I'm really excited about 4th of July and using this. Off the top of my head, there's not any 4th of July projects, but I'm sure I can figure something out. And then this is one of my favorite colors also. It's Peacock, and that's a really pretty color. Very pretty. Most of the blues and the greens. Actually, the blues are more my favorite in some of our colors. So those are all of our paste colors. And then there's also inks, which mostly corresponding color. They didn't for a long time, but there aren't quite as many ink colors as there are paste colors. And right now I only have white and black in ink. This is the project I did last night. I did this little bunny in ink on this onesie in a white ink. And heat set it with my Easy Press, and it was super cute. So this is Couture, and it's a lot of fun. And if anybody's ever interested and just wants to come hang out with me and have a make and take or a party with your friends, if you're local, or if you just want to come hang out, let me know. We can make that happen. And if you're interested in Couture, I would definitely love to be your designer. Or if you have a passion for it or want to become a hobbyist, I would love to have you on my team as well. So definitely message me and I'd be happy to get you more details about that. But in the meantime, I love that you guys were here with me tonight. I had a lot of fun. If you're rewatching this, leave me a comment. I'd love to hear from you. And I think that's going to do it for us tonight, unless there's any more questions or anything.
What is the airspeed velocity of a laden swallow?
Oh, I do not know that.
I'll have to get back to you on that one.
Yeah, we could ask Google. She would tell us. But you guys could do that too where you're at. That's what you need to do, the not craft related questions. You're sitting right there, just say, hey, and then Google. And she will tell you. Or Alexa, if that's your thing. Well, guys, it's been fun, and I've loved it. This has been the most fun live I've done. So thank you so much for being here with me, and I'm super excited to hang this in my craft room. I'll post a copy or picture of the finished project in the comments. And I would love if you would share my video, like my page, and definitely come back next time I'm talking live because this was great. So good night, everybody. Enjoy your weekend and have fun with your March Madness brackets. Bye.
Bye-bye.
See you next time.